Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy. And yesterday I shared with you the video for a new journal that I'm starting. I'm calling it Memories because I'm going to take, and I explained that in the first video. If you didn't see it, go back and look. I took a sketch pad and a booklet, and I'm going to cover the covers with papers, and then inside with the different kits that I have made journals out of. And the first one that I decided to use, I keep all my leftover papers and things from these kits, and plus I can always print out more things if I want to. But I had the elements for this one, and I decided to use the Vintage Love collection from Shabby Art Boutique. And so I've used just leftover papers, and I did use some 12 by 12 papers from my stash that I have bought because I needed the 12 inches. The other papers weren't large enough for this book. So let me show you what I did on the cover. Again, I used the Vintage Love collection. This paper that you see on the edge in the background is from my stash, and it is 12 by 12, and I just cut it slightly larger than the cover and glued it down, cut off these corners at an angle, and turned the edges under. That covered the front. And then the next thing I did was I took a piece of sheet music that you can see underneath the doilies and things for the vintage look, and I ripped the edges and inked them and put that down next. So I had kind of a frame to start with. Then I kind of started picking out my elements from the kit, and what I got from the Vintage Love collection was the rose, and this Memories is a tab off of a file folder little element in the file, and I wrote Memories on it. This is a tag. This is one of the photos that's in that kit. And this, you have to go way back in my videos, but I did hearts, a heart garland out of this kit. Now that was my design team effort for that. And I took one of the hearts off of my garland because they're just clipped on, and that was the idea, that I could remove them and use them on something. So this one was already decorated. It has lace on it and a ticket with the little girl, some roses, ribbon, the old camera, the word adored, and some tulle. And I just thought that was a nice focal point. So let's see, and the word always and forever came from the kit. So what I did was I kind of figured out how I wanted to arrange it, and I put this old doily in underneath everything. So it's the first thing I glued on top of the sheet music. I did decide to use my glue gun for gluing on this stuff on top of the music. These pieces, the paper that covered, I used my Bearly Art glue and my glue stick. So I put this doily on here, and I liked it because it's a very vintage look, and I let some of it hang over the edge, and I trimmed off what came too far over this way, and then trimmed that with a piece of just manufactured cotton lace. I layered these by putting the heart kind of down, and then I tucked these things in, and so that's how I glued them on. I went from the bottom up. So I glued this first, and then this picture, and then this heart on top of it. Up in the corner, I used a doily, and these round things here, here, and here are yo-yos made from fabric, a circle of fabric and gathered, that my mother gave me. She has made many yo-yo quilts, and so she had given me some that she had left over when I asked her. So they looked perfect on here, I thought. Then I use the rose up in the corner from the kit, and then these are some roses in the natural colors that I bought from Hobby Lobby. This is the corner off of a napkin, linen napkin that had this lace on the edge, and I just cut the corner to frame this picture here. Tucked the memories in behind there so I would have the title on the front cover. Put one of my seam binding crinkled bows on here and kind of glued it in place. And then the words always and forever. And then I looked in my jewelry box, and I'll show you that one day. I've got quite a lot of fun things in there. It's an old jewelry box that my mother gave me. And I keep all my little stuff in there, beads and little jewels and stuff. And I had these little, tiny little charm frames. And so I went and cut one of the roses, like you see here. I just cut that to fit in there. And it's just on here with a pear clip. And this down here is a button. If you shop at Hobby Lobby, they've had their buttons up to around $4 or 99 cents, and all those above are $1.99. So I bought some buttons, and that's what this is. It had an antique look, so I just glued it right in the middle of that yo-yo. I think I've explained that well enough. So I used the Vintage Love collection, and the idea is that on the left-hand page in the journal, I will use elements from a kit that I have used before, and then kind of carry it over to the right page, but have room for writing. So let me show you the inside and front cover. This is kind of big, so I'm gonna have to see if I can get it all on here. I had chosen, this was another 12 by 12 piece of paper because I needed the, this book was too big to accommodate regular paper, or I would have used paper from that kit, but I thought this would be beautiful on the inside. Again, this is from the kit, and I already had it cut out. I just never had used it. And so I just layered it with some sheet music that I ripped, and this element here, the little tag here, and Vintage Love. And I don't want to bulk it up too much inside. So if I use lace, it will be the very flat lace. This is that real fine white lace that I have. So I put that down the side just to make it look more vintage and feminine. And then over on this side, I just used some elements from the kit. This is just a journal card and a photograph. This piece of paper right here matches this over here that I cut off. I put some of the same lace over the top of it, and I had this little piece of sparkly ribbon laying here on my table, so I used it. And then I will have room to write whatever I want to in here. And I'm thinking, and I haven't looked into it yet, and I'll probably finish the journal before I write in it, but one of the things I wanted to put in here is many years ago, my husband used to write poetry to me, and I thought maybe I might put a few of those in here, and I'll have to write them out and put them in here. So this is our Vintage Love section of the Memories Journal. I hope I explained it well enough. This piece here is just cut to fit inside, and where you've wrapped that front around, it covers the edges really nice. I'm not sure what kit I'm going to use next. One of the nice things about this journal is if it starts to get too filled up, I can pull some pages out. They're made to be pulled out, so I could do that. Shabby Art Boutique has a new kit coming out for the craft room that we're eagerly awaiting, and when we get it, I'll start working on Christmas, and who knows what else. But this, I wanted to get started and just give you the idea. This will call Memories dash Vintage Love section of the journal. So that's all I have to share with you today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and maybe you'll want to make a memory album of your own. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.